Welcome you all to our virtual vision board travel party. It is going to be a good time. My name is Carmen Ray, and I am the founder of Be Well Travel and Lifestyle magazine. I reside in the beautiful state of Arizona, but right now I've been spending some time with my business partners in the Midwest, going back and forth between St. Louis, Wisconsin, Illinois is where I'm at right now. And I just want you guys to know that I love entrepreneurship. I absolutely love entrepreneurship. And so, in addition to my magazine, I have been part of a company called Planet Marketing. And in that company, I'm what's called a 1.5-star director. What does that mean? That just simply means that I talked to a few people and told them about the business of travel, and they talked to a few people. And as a result of that, I became a director in a company leading a team of over 150 people. And with travel, I am what's called an IntelliTravel, a dream mate. No, I'm sorry, vacation builder. That means that I've went through certain levels in my training and where I'm able to help people to really curate and connect with their destinations of their dreams. If it's family travel, if it's girls outings, whatever it is, we can put those travel packages together, myself and my team. So that is a little bit about me. Just notice that I will probably be one of the most resilient entrepreneurs you've ever met. I have been through the best parts of entrepreneurship and the worst, and it gives me great pleasure to be co-hosting today with my sister in success, Kimberly Caldwell. Take it away and introduce yourself, my dear.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Let me see you out there. Hello, I am Kimberly Caldwell coming to you live from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm out here with the young lady who invited me into this amazing opportunity 8.5 years ago. They're here. We're hanging out with business partners, Ambassador Tara Lyles, George. Dr. Lynn Kyer is out here. She actually opened her home for this virtual vision travel party. So I'm excited. Again, I am Kimberly Caldwell, hailing from Charlotte, North Carolina, by way of Asheville, North Carolina. And you all, I spent the majority of my life as a stressed out medical office manager. Is anybody out there tired of being stressed out? Listen, let me tell you something. I tapped into the industry of travel 8.5 years ago. And not only do I travel like a rock star, but I get paid like one too, Director Carmen Ray. Let me tell you, that residual and leveraged income has changed my entire life. You all, I have been able to travel more intelligently. I have personal freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom. And, I have a special passion, Director Carmen Ray, for small business owners. My family had a medical practice for 38 years in Asheville, North Carolina. They actually put me to work, Director Carmen, in the third grade. I think that's against the law, right? But I worked for the family business, you all, for 24 years. And you know what? After 38 years, we closed down. And I found myself at 45, unemployed with no retirement, starting life all over again. But the day that I met a complete stranger on Facebook who invited me into the travel industry, let me tell you, life has never been better. So we're excited that you're here. We guarantee you that you're going to learn so much more than just travel. We're going to teach you the secrets of the wealthy, and your life is about to be forever changed in 2025.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me on. I think Joy was talking to somebody about this program, so hopefully she'll be on. But I'm Maggie Lazar. I'm a retired nurse practitioner, and I have been in Panama now almost 2 years, the 25th of this month. So it's been a journey. It's been wonderful. I never thought I would be here in Panama. You hear about Panama, the Panama Canal, but it was never a place I thought I could live, I could retire to. Some of you would probably hear my accent. I was born in the Caribbean. I emigrated to New York at the age of 18. My mother put me on a plane and said, you know, you gotta go be successful. I went to New York and, you know, had a little bit of a rough time. I was 18, had never been anywhere but at home. But like the song says, what doesn't break you makes you stronger. I was lucky to find a church home in New York that became my family. And I think that is so important to have that community to kind of support you. So I grew with them and went to school, nursing school, got married, moved around a little bit, was doing life. And what I say, like Stephanie Perry says, my cape was quite large because I believed in you have to be successful. You have to get the advanced degrees. You have to be the perfect mom. Your kids have to play multiple sports. And you also have to be on the boards, do your community service thing. And then when you look back, you wonder, how did I do all that and not lose my mind? But I did my video this week. You haven't seen it yet, Michelle, but it's about my relationship with the church, how that has changed over time. It's an interesting one. But anyway, I decided to move to Florida. I mean, we decided to move to Florida when the kids were younger. So went to grad school, working. And then I say, as you start getting older, you know, in your 40s, you start questioning some of the decisions that you've made in your 20s. Like I tell my kids, early 20s are the most important years of your life because that's when you decide on career. That's when you choose a mate. That is the time sometimes you buy a home. So major milestone in your life. So in my mid to late 40s, I was going through a divorce. We moved to another area in Florida. And my mindset started changing in terms of goals, what I wanted to do with my life. And I decided I had a business. I ran a home care company for 13 years and I loved it, but it was work. When we decided to sell the business, I went back to doing something that was on my bucket list. I wanted to be a chef. So I went to culinary school. And after that, started a cafe, ran it for a couple of years. So when I tell my story, they're like, boy, you've been around a bit. I say, yes, I have. And I believe that if you have goals, like if you have a place you want to travel to, do it now. Do it because you don't know. I'm a nurse practitioner. I have seen people wait till they're 65 to say, oh, I'm going to travel. I'm going to buy a camper. I'm going to do that. Within 6 months, both of them get sick. One dies, and it's like the dream just goes poof. So there is truth in living your life, living your dream while you can. Because disease, tragedies, they're like not too far from you, okay? So after we decide, no, I didn't decide. I lost my lease to my cafe and ended up losing my business there and closed the cafe, lost my investment, everything that I had sold my business for, that I had made some money from. And I think that event, and that was before COVID, that event cemented for me in terms of prioritizing myself, my goals. So I started thinking about what I was going to do after I closed the cafe. I was a nurse. Then I decided to go back to school to become a nurse practitioner. Advanced degrees, loved it. But I don't know if there are nurses or medical personnel in the chat here because you know, we love what we do, but the environment is toxic. The workload, the inequality, things that really crush your heart as you're seeing how our people are treated. You know, you all know the stories, right? So one day I was on the road because in my job, I was assigned to different long-term care facilities, and my specialty was psychiatry, gerontology. So I was seeing people with dementia, anxiety, depression. But I had to travel from one place to another, being on the road. And I'm in my 50s. One day I was sitting there in traffic, I-75, and I said, why am I doing this? I don't have to sit here and do things, this traffic and stress, because one of my facilities, I had to travel an hour and a half each way to get there, then see the patients, then drive back home. Then when I got home, write my notes till like 12, 1 o'clock at night. And I was like, okay, I'm done. It was crazy. It was that one moment. I'm done. I didn't know how I was going to do it. It wasn't in the plan. I wasn't of retirement age yet, but in my mind, I decided this is it. I'll figure it out. So I went home and started crunching numbers, figured it out. I'm like, yeah, I can readjust my life. I can retire early. So I decided that's what I was going to do. But where was still a mystery. I did not know. I know that in my house in Florida, I live in a gated community. Once I go through the gate and I wave to the guard, I used to feel very secure as a single woman. I was divorced at that time. And I said, oh, this is nice. You know, there is somebody watching the gate. Then I felt safe. Then came all the brutalities, people being shot, people's knees being on other people. It's like, it doesn't matter where you are. You're not safe anywhere. You're not safe. I went home several nights thinking, okay, I lock my door, but I know that somebody could burst open my front door in the middle of the night, point, and then afterwards, oops, you just look like somebody we're looking for. So my sense of security was shattered, and I felt I needed, and that was even before all the, what we're experiencing now. I felt the need to make a move. I started researching Africa. I went to other places. Again, just like I talk on my YouTube channel, doing the self-assessment, knowing me, what are my must-have, what's important to me, what is secondary, what can I live with, what can I not live with? And I landed with Panama. But Panama in 2019, before COVID, I said, oh, I have time. I still have stuff on my bucket list. The Panama Canal is on my bucket list. So I came, saw the canal, fell in love with the whole country, the food, the environment, the people. I was like, wow, this is nice. I like this, but not to retire, just to come for a revisit. Then I'm like, okay, where else could I land? Went to Africa, went to Ghana, went to Rwanda. But I'm a spiritual person. I feel like I need to get a connection with a place. I felt the connection with Panama, even though Panama is not an African country, but there is a lot of melanin here. When you land in Panama, you see a lot of people who look like you. They're speaking Spanish, but they look like you. Because 70% of Panamanians are what we call mestizos. Mestizos are people who are a mix of African, Caribbean, Spanish, indigenous. So nobody looks like each other. Everybody looks different, but different shades. The hair texture might be different, but they look like you. No one is staring at you. You don't feel like you're under the gun. You're like a foreigner. And I think that's why a lot of people love Panama. Went to Africa, didn't get the connection. Let me try Panama again. Came 2 other times, and every time the feeling was reinforced. Just travel throughout the country, see where I could land, and it was like, I think it's gonna be Panama. So when I went and did the numbers and said that I could make it work with less money than what the government says I'm gonna be allowed at 6 to 7 and 8 months, I said, I think I can craft a lifestyle for me to live within my means with what I'm going to get. And that's what I did. In 2023, I landed in Panama City with 3 suitcases. Nothing else. I did not bring towels. I did not bring cookery. I did not bring anything. I had programmed myself to become a minimalist, to live with less. And I tell people that's why I've been here 2 years. There has not been one day that I said, oh, I don't think I made the right decision. Oh, I wish I was back there. And you can ask most people who live here, when we go home, like I'm going to be going next month, after about 3 or 4 days, you ready. You're ready to come back because the vibe is different. You live at the airport and you like start tightening up. You know, you're on the road, you start looking. We don't do that here. You can let your hair down. You can relax. So this is my story. So when I came to Panama, I wanted to volunteer because it was like, well, what's I going to do with my time? I am not one of those to say, oh, I'm just going to go to dinner and then I'm going to go play golf. I needed a project. I always need to be striving for something. And I know we don't have time to talk about that, but that's what I did. I went to the Peace Corps in the middle of all this for about 3 months. But when I returned to Panama, I was like, what is it? Because I need purpose. I need something to do. Because I'm a nurse, I'm a provider. I need to feel like this lady was talking about the caregivers and caring for them. That's what I do. I'm a geriatrician. I study aging and I'm aging. So we decided, not we, I started doing some research and then landed with a group that I felt that with my skills, my needs, my interests, I could provide information to women, older, single women who may be wondering, can they retire abroad? My videos give them information for them to assess whether they could make the move. And that's what single women retiring abroad is all about. Someone asked me one time, how did you come up with the name? I cannot remember how I came up with the name, but it is a fitting name. Our ladies, I say we are sassy older women who have decided to move abroad. We want to create community while we reinvent ourselves, Miss Carmen. So we don't stand still. We're always evolving. We're always learning. We're always changing and seizing opportunities. I'm an opportunist. I'm always doing the 360. Right? To see what can match with what you want. So when I was doing a review of my year of 2024, one of the things I'm grateful for is that I was able to get clarity on what my purpose is in this stage in life. And I think it's a blessing. I think it takes courage. It takes introspection. You have to know the work. You have to do the work, know yourself and how you can fit in this whole, system and what you can do to help a few people. I don't have to save the world. I don't need to go be a missionary somewhere in a third world country, but I can serve my people where I am with what I'm doing. So I thank you for the opportunity to kind of introduce myself, because sometimes it takes a little while for people to understand what I'm all about, what I'm doing. When people say, aren't you bored? I don't know what that means. I wake up excited every day because I'm always creating, and that's me. I need that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Carmen. Thank you. I am so blessed and fortunate to be connected to you and Maggie and all the other ladies that's on this chat. I co-sign everything Maggie said about Panama and her journey to get here. Mine is similar, except that I didn't go to Africa and I didn't go to all those other places. I picked a place, I focused on it, I researched it, I planned, saved, scheduled, and I arrived. I'm glad to be connected with Maggie. I discovered Maggie in June of 2024, her YouTube channel, and she resonated so much with me, and I am so fortunate to be connected to her. And her single women retiring abroad group. Just love, love, love them.
The ladies who have already shared, thank you. Because I am that person. Panama Canal is about as much as I knew about Panama. But Carmen has definitely spoken so highly of both of you and the experience. I can't wait till she gets there so I know where I'm going to visit and lay on the couch or something, but I'll be there. Why is it important to create alliances and partnerships and being stretched? It's creating the right alliances and the right partnerships that can stretch you the right way, right, Ms. Jackie? I see you and Tracy nodding. That's who Director Carmen has been for me. I've always said that I'm 46, but I've always had people that I've learned that who have become close friends of mine be older than me. I strongly believe in partnering with people who have already gone where I'm trying to go and not hanging around so many people who are my age who just you're where I am. We both, it might be blind leading the blind. No, I want the person who's already gone, who can help me decide if this or decipher to go left or right and to expand and expound so much more. Those of us who are on the line who are in business together, this is nothing new because this is all we talk about. I know a lot of times from the outside looking in, people think that it's all about money and it's just about us making money. After you reach a certain age, it's not the money anymore, it's the peace. And the money that comes along with the peace is good, but it's the peace first. I see you, Linda Michelle, with the heart. That's what's more important to me. Maggie, when she said, you know how it is being on the jobs and we get treated a certain way. And when you had that quote, somebody put in the chat, never again moment, Maggie, you had that never again moment where you said, I don't have to do this. That's how I started feeling when I started letting my boss know some things. I said, I'm not really sure who you're talking to, but you know, as an educated woman, there are certain things that you don't have to put up with, right? No. And so it was so good to know that this plan B plan that was once a plan B has now become my plan A. And the benefit is all of the partnerships and alliances that we've been able to form and create. So when you think you're gonna fall, or when a job thinks that they're going to let you go, you got a whole tribe of business women and men to remind you of who you really are and whose you really are. So Director Carmen, thank you again for just setting this platform up for us to get outside of our normal business talk and business chatter with the same people and really start to hear from some other people so they can also hear from us. Thank you, Carmen.
All righty. Hello, my sisters. So my name is Patrice Register, your travel partner and manifester, and I'm so thrilled to be here today to share this with you. As we step into this new year, is the perfect time to set our intentions and manifest our dreams. I've used Canva. There's also Vista Create. There's other platforms out there that you can use to create that vision board for yourself. So important. Now, I'm going to give you a few affirmations that I want you can jot these down if you see my screen here. And you can say them with me. Feel it when you say these words because these are become your mantras. I am intentional about my growth. I always get what I focus on. I turn obstacles into opportunities to thrive. I trust my abilities and my decisions. I am worthy of all the good things that come my way. I am equipped with everything I need. I am capable of creating the life I desire. So now in closing, I want to thank you guys for today, joining me today in this my meditation and manifesting your dreams. I hope that this workshop that we're doing today inspires you to pursue those dreams and the passion and the determination to make it happen. Let's make this year our best one yet.
I'm really excited to be here. And Carmen asked me to take this time to speak with you all about one of my specialties as a travel advisor, and that is a passport, a U.S. passport. um, and so as a travel advisor, and I think Carmen might have been trying to say this, I have originally came into the travel business about 7 years ago, and I came in and I left, and I came back and I left, and I came back and I left. And so for the most part, I mean, I'm just being transparent. I knew what I saw was amazing. I knew that it was something that I wanted and needed to be a part of, but I did not position myself to fully receive the opportunity. And by that, I mean, I had so many things that I was trying to do. My mindset wasn't right. I was just all over the place until I finally, this time around, I went into prayer and I asked God, help me, because you put this in me to be a part of the travel industry. I see this as being my retirement plan because, like so many others, my retirement plan just wasn't there after my divorce. So, fast forward January 20th of last year, I re-signed under Carmen Ray again. And with that, I have very passionate about getting caught up on the things that I missed out on. One of the things that I felt I missed out on, and I know a lot of people do not have this as well, is a U.S. passport. It is so important to me for people to have this second form of ID. Actually, a U.S. passport is the best ID that anyone can have. And it's easier than most people think on how you can actually get that. So one of the things that you want to do when you want to get your passport, you want to go to travel.state.gov, okay? And the whole process begins there. Now, I want to make sure that you understand, if you are applying for a U.S. passport for a minor, or if you are applying for the very first time for yourself, you can start the application process online, but you must complete it in person. Okay. And then the other thing that I want to make sure that people understand, if you are renewing your passport, and that's where I'm going to talk a little more about the renewing, you can now renew your passport online, but there are some requirements that you must meet. So not everyone is eligible to have their passports renewed online. So again, if you go to travel.state.gov, you can get all the information that you need there. I also have a video on how to obtain your US passport on my YouTube channel, and I will make sure to put that in the chat as well for you all. But I really wanted to focus on the renewing of your passport online, because this is a new process that just started in 2024. And so there's been some confusion about it. But there are 8 steps with renewing your passport online. First, you must be eligible as a U.S. citizen. And the service that is provided online is a routine service. So the 8 steps: first, confirm that you meet the requirements. The second step is create your account. The third step, you're going to start your application online. And I'm just giving the steps right now, but again, in any questions, I'll be happy to answer. The fourth step, you want to enter your most recent passport information. The fifth step, you want to enter your travel plans. The sixth step, you want to upload your digital photo. Your seventh step, you want to sign and pay for your passport. And then the 8th step is you must enroll in email updates. So basically, the first step when you're meeting the requirements, you must be able to show that your passport the passport that you are renewing must be or has been valid for 10 years. And you are age 25 or older. This is a requirement. So again, this is a part of the eligibility. With that, the passport you are renewing is either expiring within 1 year or has expired less than 5 years. You also want to make sure that you are not changing your name, gender, date of birth, or place of birth. This is why they say a routine service. If you are reporting that you've changed your gender or you have a name change, you are not going to be eligible to renew your passport online.
I have so many travel destinations on my mind is because, like they say, we know how much money we have, but we don't know how much time we have to spend it. And so I've never been about just putting things off. I've been a planner all of my adult life. And so the reason that I love cruising so much, I don't have time to go to one place at a time. I need a trip where I'm going to 3 or 4 destinations in 1 week. But Carmen had indicated on the agenda, about the 40 years. So I just realized a couple of months ago that I have literally been booking travel since 1984, which is 40 years. My first group was a Royal Caribbean cruise in 1984, and there were 8 of us. That's when I was affiliated with a brick and mortar travel business. So I would go to work, come from work, go take care of my business at the travel agency. Now, what started that was in 1983, I took my then 3-year-old son. It was me, my 3-year-old son, and my mom to Disney World in Florida. That was our first trip. So I was working with this guy who was a travel agent at my church at the time. And so I told him I was recently divorced, and I just wanted us to take this trip just to be able to really, enjoy life and all that. So he worked with me and we did the trip. Everything was fine. So when we came back from the trip, he said to me, Jackie, with just the information you were always asking me, you would really be good working as a travel agent. I'm like, really? So that's what started it all. So the next year was my first cruise, 1984. I can't even remember which ship it was on, but it was Royal Caribbean. And so that started it with me. So what trips I have coming up right now, besides our business conventions, I always go to those. I'm going to IntelliTravels convention, which is called ITQ. It's on the Norwegian Joy, I believe, ship. And it's February 26th to March 3rd. I don't know exactly where we're going. If it's a Caribbean cruise, I've already been there anyway. And so it doesn't matter to me where I'm going. I just love cruising. But I'm also going, Director D.F. Russell, please forgive me. I am going on the Carnival Panorama Mother's Day week. Now, that's just a joke. There's nothing wrong with Carnival. I am so loyal to Royal Caribbean, that I rarely will. Well, no, I do go on other cruise lines. But what I've learned as an agent, it can't always just be about me and what I want. So there are a lot of people that love Carnival. I don't dislike it, probably because Royal Caribbean was my first. I love Royal Caribbean. So I'm going on that Mother's Day week. May, I think 10th through the 18th or something like that. And that's a Mexican Riviera. So that ship is out of Long Beach, California. Then June 16th through the 20th, I'm on Utopia of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean's newest ship that just came out this year. I can't wait to get on that. Speaking of Royal Caribbean, this is what happens when Carmen gives me the mic. I digress all over the place. Icon of the Seas, baby. I was on that ship twice in 2024. And I promise you, I will get on it a third time. That's like my favorite ship of all time so far. But anyway, so I have Utopia of the Seas. I'm already planning for September 2026 a trip to South Africa. Now, someone had mentioned earlier about, a place they really want to go. I forgot who it was, Carmen, but she's been to Africa. I've been to Africa too. I haven't been to South Africa. I've been to West Africa because Africa is a whole huge continent with, I don't even remember how many countries make up Africa. I've been to West Africa. I've been to Senegal. But when I tell you my dream trip, as much as I love, the Caribbean and the blue water and the white sand, I can't wait to get to South Africa. Because when I was in West Africa and Senegal, when I tell you, when you just feel like you have totally connected with the people and the earth, that's what I felt in Africa. So much so when I was there, I remember seeing this, like, you see people, they got to be your relatives. You see people that look just like you. As a matter of fact, I remember walking down the street. We were on a tour doing something. And this lady passed me. And if I tell you she was not my daddy's sister, I had to stop and turn around and ask that woman what her name was. And of course, she wasn't his sister. She was here. But anyway, my dream trip is South Africa for right now. And so that is being scheduled as we speak for September 2026. So the way we kind of work it is if we know one person on our team is doing a group trip somewhere, there may be 4 or 5 other agents on our team will also schedule that same trip at the same time if they want to. And then we have a nice sized group and everybody makes money, all the agents. Okay, I don't know. I had jotted this down. I'm just going to throw this in as I wrap up because I know we've talked about a few topics. And so my heart is with self-care. I know someone mentioned about self-care. And because I was a full-time caregiver for my husband with dementia, once I retired, because I lost my only child to leukemia at the age of 15, because I've never had biological brothers or sisters, because I'm a widow, because both my parents are now deceased, I have no immediate family. I have extended family, have no immediate family. Self-care is what it's all about for me. And one thing that I learned from a good friend of mine who's in this business with me is that your body keeps score. So when us as women, we tend to just work our fingers to the bone, there's no trophy to be given because you almost passed out because you've been working 20 hours today. I'm just going to put it, this is just my philosophy. So your body needs rest. If you don't give your body rest when it needs it, it's going to take it, and it may not be at the time that's convenient for you. So, like she taught, I think when we were doing the visualization and the breathing, that was something my friend taught me. Matter of fact, I had her come to my church last year when I launched our self-care ministry at my church, and she taught us the importance of that deep breathing. I do it all the time because anyway, so I do it often. And so I love that your body keeps score. It's time out for us to stop being stressed out so much. So traveling for me is where I completely release. I'm not concerned about what bills I got to pay when I get back home. I'm not concerned about what I'm going to cook because I'm not going to cook because I'm on vacation. So somebody's going to cook for me. All I want to do is enjoy the moment, stay present in the moment. So that's why I love to travel. I will travel for as long as I can, the rest of my life. That is my plan. And I welcome you, any of you, to contact me at any time and let's travel together.
Oh, thank you so much, Carmen. Happy New Year, everybody. It's so good to be here. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. And like I've heard several of you say, that I met Carmen. I saw her on social media one day say something really encouraging about women, that, you know, let's be confident, let's work together. It was just like, and it was at a time where I was feeling a little bit down. So I didn't know her at all, but I messaged her and I said, can we chat? That night, there's Carmen calling me on the phone, having a lovely conversation with me and telling me about different things that she, you know, does, and asking me about me. And that was it. Then we just started doing things together. And I so enjoy everything you do, Carmen. And I've met so many people on here through Carmen, the master connector for sure. And since I've known Carmen, I was ordained as a deaconess in the Anglican Church. And I really am having this desire to add travel to like my ministry, because we do travel. And this year I just sitting here realized I have to travel 4 times in like 6 months or 5 months. I thought, I wonder if this is the time. And so I'm going to explore that again, because I'm always so excited when I hear everybody's plans with the travel. I'm learning to travel, so that's my big thing. I don't get it. I don't get how to travel, so I just haven't had experience with it. But I want to, and I want to do a grief cruise, and that's still in my mind. Is to, I work with death and dying. That's a passion of mine, and bereavement, and I would like to create a grief cruise. So
that's beautiful. And Jocelyn, please tell people about your 2 main things. When I introduce you to people in my network, I want them to know your passion for working with, grief, dying, and your heart. Like, your heart brings such peace to my retreats and my events. And then another big thing that I want you to share before we turn it over for Q&A is the fact that you made up your mind to transform your life. You lost over 100 pounds, and the kind of discipline that took. Like, we are working on our business, but you are an example of what it means to slow down enough to work on yourself. Guys, so thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate it. And meet us in the platform and share anything else that you'd like to share. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Kimberly Caldwell, for hosting this space for us today. I appreciate you, ladies.